Hey, what's up guys, it's Luke. So the other day I uploaded the video of me talking about the beat that I made for the Kenny Beats Overnight Beat Battle, and it ended up being over an hour long, and so today I wanted to make a video covering 3 main tips that I want you to take away from this beat in case you were deterred by the fact that the other one was an hour long and you couldn't get through it. So in this video I want to cover the vocal technique that I used. I want to talk about how to mix big snares like the ones in this beat, and then I also want to give you a VST instrument recommendation, which is free by the way. So in case you missed it, I'm going to play some of the beat first so that you know where we're at.
Go.
Tell me about the whistles.
The whistles go.
It sounds like what?
When you want to woo woo, it's that woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the flow, 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 flow.
Let's go.
You got the flow, flow, flow.
So first off, my vocals are located here in this track, and the technique that I was referring to basically has to do with repeating the end phrase of a vocal or an a cappella over a drop from the previous phrase. So it kind of highlights this change up, or it highlights the new vibe that's going on after the previous part of the vocal and into the end. So you can achieve this by using a delay. So like for example, if I continued the vocal up until here and didn't have this part of the vocal that I duplicated myself, I could activate the delay just at the end, this portion of the vocal, only that part would get delayed and then it would fade out however you have the settings on your delay set. But the way that I did it was just manually by duplicating this part of the vocal, so that way I could have exact control over it, and then the way I made it fade out was just by modulating this utility to decrease its volume. So I did this over like dropping into this intro part, dropping into the first main drop, and then also dropping into the second drop. So now let's have a listen to this first drop with the vocal in mind.
You got the flow, flow, flow.
Anyway, I highly suggest you try this out. I think it's one of the most fun ways to use acapellas. So the next thing I want to focus on is the snare. And I have some guidelines for you to try out next time you're trying to layer a really fat snare. So there has been a time where when I thought a snare needed multiple layers, I would just stack multiple different snares willy-nilly on top of each other until I thought it sounded good. But now I have a way more trusted method of going about getting a really full snare sound. So the 2 layers to that method are 1, having a more mono snare, and 2, having a more wide snare. So the way that you can manufacture that for yourself is just take a mono snare and then add a delay Haas effect to another snare to push it out wide. So here's what the snare sounds like, and here's what it sounds like if I didn't make the second snare wide. And then if I make it wide, it basically fills out the entire stereo field with your snare sound to make it really punch through your mix. The third and final point that I want to talk about is this string section that I added. Strings are one of my favorite ways to add like an ethereal, airy feel to my harmony section. And the VST that I have to recommend for you is called Labs. And it's made by Spitfire Audio. I'll put a link in the description. Totally free, and this interface allows you to select from any one of the instruments that they offer to be played within this interface. You basically download their client, and then you just pick which instruments you want to have on your machine, and then download them. I basically downloaded like almost all of them to test them out. I haven't tested them all out yet, but I really like the strings. There's a bunch of different versions of strings that they have that I think all sound really good, but I feel like this is one of the elements that really pushes this beat over the edge into like kind of a more heavenly, ethereal sound. Because like if I just had the recorder chords alone, the higher end like sizzle that the strings add wouldn't be present, obviously, and that would just kind of create or it would just kind of leave it relatively dull.
Flow.
See, when I add the strings, the high end sizzle that it adds really expands out the sound. So I highly recommend you getting labs pretty much any time you have a decent chord progression with strings as the instrument. You can't go wrong. You're bound to end up with something cool. So that was my last tip. So if you like what you saw in this video and would like to go in even more depth, definitely go check out my longer version of it, where I break down every single decision that I made and every tip that I could possibly think of along the way. Otherwise, hit subscribe and wait for some of my shorter, more consumable videos to come out that I have planned for you guys. Otherwise, I hope you're staying creative, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.